Liz's Voice by Alex Noble, Allie Sinnott, Maria Huster, and Lily St. Angelo. This book is dedicated to Bethy Wallachin and everyone who has found the strength to take a stand for themselves or their friends. Liz's Voice was written by Lily, amazing lettering by Alex, and illustrated by Allie, Maria, and Lily. Liz was a quiet child. Her dad was in the military and had to move around often. She never stayed in one place long enough to warm up to the other kids.
Liz built up barriers everywhere she went. She was afraid the other kids wouldn't like her. Liz's shyness kept her classmates from getting to know her. On the road to keep Liz entertained, her parents played CD after CD of timeless classics. Liz learned to sing before she learned to talk.
But only her parents heard her sing.
The summer before 5th grade, her family moved to Idaho. Liz's parents had some big news about their new home. "We're staying here for good. No more moving? No more moving." Even as she entered her final year of elementary school, Liz's shyness followed her. Liz knew that she would be staying in Idaho, but she didn't know how to handle staying somewhere for good. At school, she was nearly mute. Concerned teachers called Liz's parents, as usual. Liz's parents told her that making friends was a good idea. They didn't understand what school was like for a quiet little girl. For the first time in her life, kids began teasing her. Maybe it was because she was older. Maybe it was because of the school. Either way, kids at Flowing Falls Elementary seemed to have no mercy on Liz and her silence. Liz would walk at recess, by herself, and sometimes sing very quietly. The boys from her class would come up to her and taunt her, trying to get her to speak up. The girls, they would whisper rumors about her. Liz didn't know how to stand up for herself, however. The teasing made her feel helpless and even more shy. She told her parents, but they just told her to speak up. One day, a new boy was introduced to Liz's class. His name was Eric.
In class, every new student was required to do an All About Me presentation. At the end of the student's presentation, they were allowed to show off a special talent. When it came time to share his talent, Eric looked around nervously, took a deep breath, and started singing. Mrs. H clasped her hands together and wiped her eyes. "You sing like an angel, Mr. Eric." His voice was clear and beautiful, but after the teacher had clapped and everyone had been dismissed to recess, the teasing and taunting began. "You sound like a girl. He's Mrs. H's little angel. Singing is for sissies. Oh, look at Mr. Eric." Liz stood off to the side, watching Eric's terror-stricken face and the bully's confident, superior ones. She was angry, very angry. Frustration boiled inside of her. Then, suddenly, she snapped. Her mouth opened and her legs moved mechanically towards the bullies. Then her voice came out, surprisingly strong.
Hey, stop it. Just because you can't sing doesn't mean you should pick on people who can. Liz stood next to Eric and gave her classmates a defiant stare. The other kids were shocked. The silent girl had talked. Some of them moved away, but a few boys stayed behind. So the shy girl stands up for the sissy boy, huh? She can't stand up for herself, but she can stand up for that little angel. If singing is so important to you, why don't you show us your stuff? Maybe I will, Liz said, her voice unfaltering. The talent show is next week, and Eric and I are singing something together. Aren't we, Eric? Uh-huh, Eric replied, wide-eyed. He knew how to play along. After recess was over, Eric went up to Liz. "Thanks for standing up for me back there. I thought I was a goner." "Hey, no problem. I was serious about the talent show, though. I love singing, and I think you're really good. We should sing a duet." Liz and Eric chose "Lean on Me" and practiced for days. When the time had come to perform, Liz turned to Eric. "Standing up for yourself isn't as hard as I thought. I guess I just needed to stand up for someone else first." They took the stage, and the crowd went quiet. The song began, and by the end, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Liz had found her voice.